We're going to take a look at some of the latest Nanos polling findings. The latest Nanos poll for CTV News and the Globe and Mail shows 50% of respondents want Liberal leader Mark Carney to be prime minister. While Carney has the support of half of respondents, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's support has dropped more than a point to 32.8%. Support for NDP Leader Jagmeet Singh, who we just heard from, is down more than half a point to less than 5%. The rest of the federal party leaders included in the poll have seen a slight uptick in support. Now, when it comes to overall party support, the Liberals have a more than 9-point lead over the Conservatives, with the Liberals up slightly and the Conservatives down. The NDP is down almost half a point to 8.8%. The Bloc Québécois has 5.5%, the Green Party sitting at 1.7% support, and the People's Party of Canada looking at 1.1% according to these latest numbers. And for more on these findings, we're joined by Nick Nanos, Chief Data Scientist at Nanos Research. Always good to see you, Nick. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Good to see you, Lena.
So talk to us about these latest numbers. Any surprises? What do you take from this?
Well, a couple things, three things, why don't we say? I think all the parties should be probably nervous. Even the Liberals, like, let's face it, they're at 46%. Looks like they're in the driver's seat. I think if you're a Liberal strategist, you're probably thinking, have the Liberals peaked too early, right? Mm-hmm. Like if this was in the last week of the campaign, Lena, you'd be thinking they'd be cruising to victory. But, with the advantage that they currently have now, there's a possibility that things could go down. For the Conservatives at 37%, you got to be thinking, you know what? Stephen Harper won elections with 37%. He won a number of elections. What did the Conservatives have to do to kind of move their numbers up and close the gap between themselves and the Liberals? And if you're a New Democrat looking at that number, and Lena, just as context, that 9%. In 2021, the New Democrats had 18% support in the election. Their support is basically cut in half. This 9%, Lena, is the lowest that we've seen for the New Democrats since the 2000 election, where they really had a bad election. Wow. Yeah, it's a 25-year low.
So let me talk about Jagmeet Singh and his party, clearly in crisis at this point. Are they at risk of losing official party status, Nick, based on these numbers?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think the seat projections suggest that even Jagmeet Singh's riding could be in play in Vancouver, which would be obviously a massive setback. The thing is, for the New Democrats, they're getting squeezed on two fronts. First of all, they're getting squeezed strategically with voters, progressive voters, who want to stop or block Pierre Poilievre. And, so we have to look at those Liberal numbers and think there's probably 9 percentage points there that are probably former New Democrats. The other thing that the New Democrats have to deal with is kind of what I'll say the residual from them supporting Justin Trudeau and the Liberals over the last number of years in the House of Commons and propping up that government. So he's going to have a tough time. Jagmeet Singh's going to have a tough time in the leaders' debate, because as soon as he starts to say stuff, I'm sure Pierre Poilievre will just look at him and dismiss him to say, hey, you've supported Justin Trudeau and all of those things over the last number of years. Canadians want to go on a different path. And, the thing is even for Mark Carney, he's distancing himself from the Trudeau era.
Yeah, they've got a lot to be nervous about. The storyline here is that the Liberals have increased their lead to 9 points. Yet I heard you ask the question, could Mark Carney and his team have peaked too early? Tell me more about that. That sounds fascinating.
Well, the thing is that we still have the debate, we still have the platform, and we still have, what do we call it, the wild card, Donald Trump, who can derail, any of the campaigns or disrupt the shape of the election campaign. And, the thing is, for the Liberals to maintain 46% over a long period of time, like weeks, is difficult. In the same way, when the Conservatives, their peak was 47%. They were at 47. The Conservatives were at 47. The Liberals were at 20. The Conservatives were not able to maintain that level. So it's a level of intensity that, if the Liberals are down 5 points and the Conservatives go up 5 points, we're back into a dead heat for who would basically lead when it comes to popular support.
Really quickly, Nick, a lot has happened on the tariff front. We've managed to escape those retaliatory tariffs. We're still dealing with the auto tariffs, though. Who do you think that is going to help, and who is it going to hurt?
Well, one of the things that we do know, at least, is kind of like, Lena, remember Doug Ford's election? It was like it was him versus Donald Trump.
Yep.
Not Merritt Stiles, not Bonnie Crombie. It was like, a two-person focus. We're seeing a lot of that now, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Carney numbers are so strong right now, because he benefits from being the leader of the Liberal Party, but he also benefits from being the Prime Minister, having and needing to respond to Donald Trump. So, I think the ironic thing is that for the Conservatives, if Donald Trump was not in the news, it would actually be a little more of an even playing field in terms of the focus of Canadians.
Hard for those opposition leaders to break through, that's for sure. Nick Nanos, Chief Data Scientist at Nanos Research. Thanks for your insights. Always good to be with you, Nick.
Okay, bye-bye.